Look what I happened across. Someone trying to build a little teepee or something? Trying to build a shelter? Looks like they did. If you see the pile of leaves there underneath their little teepee, I don't know if they didn't complete it or if that's just the stuff they threw on top and it happened to fall on down. But so normally if I would have found something like that, maybe I would have used it. I don't know, because that means other people are around here. But I wouldn't use that because of where it is. Right next there to the water. And that is definitely in the floodplain, because the floodplain goes right up to where it is. If you look behind it, see where the bank's washed out. That's the flat where all that water would come up, and it would rush right down through there, especially since this side of the bank over here is so much higher than that. I don't know what the likelihood of a flash flood happening here is, but if it happened, you would be underwater there, which is why I wouldn't use that area. Alright guys, well, I wouldn't normally do this, but I think I'm going to camp here. It's kind of too, I don't know if it's too close. It's a little closer to the water than I like. But taking a look at the floodplain here, of course your pebbles and stuff there are what you normally get during a flood. Or not a flood, but let's say a decent shower rain. All those leaves and stuff piled up on there show you that it gets a bit higher. I don't know if we can tell. Right here seems to be the biggest part of the floodplain, that little step off. So it doesn't look like it often comes up here. And if you look here and you look over there, those banks are about even. It's kind of hard to tell like this, but I'm not sure why Tabby's jumping in the water as cold as it is. Anyway, so I think we'll be pretty safe camping over here. Alrighty. Also, considering it's winter and I know they're expecting snow, I don't really have to worry about floods. If this was a one-night stay, I would not camp here for a long period of time, 100%. But right here, this bank and that bank are even. So if I get a little higher up over there, still it's in the flat, I'm gonna be good. And I've chose this spot because I've already got a roof. That tree, gonna make a nice little roof, beginning of a shelter for me. Where I was looking for, what I was looking for, and which would make the best, so just for educational purposes, but I don't like where it's located, is this, a root ball. Now, actually, you know what, I might even just sit up here, because I'm not going to be here that long. But take a look at that. If you can find yourself a tree that's already fallen over and took up some ground with it, man, they're amazing for shelters. Get some of the stuff out of the way and I'll just show you. I've already got all of this. There's no air ever going to get through any of this stuff. So all I need to worry about now, I got a whole back wall, got a roof started. I just need to cover in around here a little bit more. Maybe cover out over a roof a little bit more, and we're good to go. Stick my fire out here. We're going to be sitting pretty and warm tonight. Another really nice thing about it, you know, we already got heat reflectors there. Those stones are going to collect that heat, and even if our fire dies, those stones are going to maintain their warmth from the fire if I can get the fire to warm those stones. Tabby's already finding some stuff in there. If you have a dog with you, let him do the work. All right, I got some rocks from the creek I'm going to use to build a little reflector wall. Anytime you're in cold weather, working near a creek, use your bare hands. Take your gloves off because you don't want your gloves to get wet. That's something you might forget, not think about. I mean, you do want to protect your hands, but you also want to keep your gloves dry. Now, we are making a fire so we could dry our gloves, but it's better off to keep them dry and not have to dry them than get them soaked and then try and dry them. Just be a little more careful with what you're doing. Now, I'm not an expert at this, so don't take me as one. I'm just Joe Schmo. Migrating birds, apparently. That's pretty interesting. Anyway, we built a little reflector wall. And looks like all the birds are leaving.